Hey, here's a review of Jimmy the Kid by Donald Westlake. It's number 3 in his Drtmndr series, which are series of comedic crime novels, all centered around John Drtmndr and his crew of hapless criminals. Kelp, the friend who just is his jinx, Murch, a driver, um, May, his wife, and Murch's mother. Those that basically comes is the crew. Kelp comes to him with a plan, and the plan is actually it's this crime novel that he says, "Hey, this crime novel just lays out everything perfectly for us to do this crime, which is kidnap a kid." And who is it? Who is this little crime novel by? It's by Richard Stark, which, if you know anything about Donald Westlake, that was his pseudonym for writing his Parker novels. And this is a non-existent Parker novel where Parker and his crew, which are hardened, terse, methodical, violent men, um, kidnap a child. Not to kill the child or anything like that, but basically, rigorously do the thing, and they get away at the end. Which, that's the one thing that all of the people, all of Drtmndr and the whole crew can agree on. That's like, oh, I really like that the criminals get away with it. It's like going into a western and being really happy that the native people get to repel all those freaking cowboys and get to live happily ever after. They have the very much the same thing of it's a cops and robbers thing where the criminals get away. It's like great, awesome. Now Drtmndr really takes some convincing to actually get into this plot, but especially he's quite affronted because he's the ideas guy, and it's like, what the hell does this Richard Parker know? And indeed, throughout the book, he's got these little criticisms and kind of making fun of the book, just like the book would. What does the book say? And of course, to his frustration, a lot of his compatriots are like, well, the book says we should do this now. It's like, it's a book. It's a piece of fiction. It's like, God damn it. But they do the crime, which this is published in 1974. I was first confused because it's 1994, but that's apparently the reprint. It's like 1974. So they look for a limo that's got like a phone in it, and a kid who's getting kind of shipped from from wherever their school to whatever appointment they have and stuff like that. They basically find something like, okay, this is a kid who's on a regular route, who's got a very wealthy father. This is like a Cadillac with a phone in it, and indeed they find out the father is like some big financial guy, and it's like, okay, we're gonna this is the kid we're gonna nab. And they scope everything out, and they follow the plan. But of course, the plan does not go according. And probably the best thing is that in the book, the Parker book, the kid is very kind of like, not insipid, but is a very childish child, and they're like, they're going to wear masks, and it's like, we're going to wear cartoon masks to comfort the child. But this child is being taken back and forth to his psychiatrist, where he's discoursing at length about stuff. He's not reading comic books in the back of that thing. He's reading the New Yorker about world events and stuff like this. This is a smart kid, and a kid who, hilariously enough, is going to run rings around these poor things, but not do it actually in a super overly precocious way. Like, that's the one thing I like about this, really love about this thing, with its humor, is the kid is actually just like, I'm an intelligent human being, and Donald Westlake kind of writes it as an intelligent kid, but not like insipidly, like, this is just a miniature adult walking around. I really, really love that. The actual kidnapping is hilarious. Nothing goes right. The kid basically kind of has got their number from the beginning. Is as smart as all the other characters in the book are. In both the Parker books, with a kind of hard nails criminals, and Drtmndr, it's like they're smart people, but with Dortmundr, they're also just hapless, and everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And a part of it is that, Dortmundr is smart, but he's surrounded by incompetence. If he was a hardened guy like Parker, he would have turfed these people a long time ago and found, you know, hard, ruthless people. But he's not actually. He's a nice person. He's a nice criminal person. He's a criminal. And you get the sense that the formula for these books is like, Dortmunder, he can just never ever get ahead, and that's sort of what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen in this book. I think I read another one of the Dortmunder books, perhaps the first one, and it felt a little flabby to me, like it was too large. This one is actually nicely tight and compact. We basically they try to execute the plan. They actually do manage to kidnap the kid, and they kind of go through the plan. They get to the end, and it's the end, and it's like it's very sharp, very kind of it's actually a little bit more honed. I think I was actually, when I picked this up as like an audiobook at the library, I was looking for a Parker novel because I liked the the Parker novels more because they're more honed, more kind of just tight, like little novellas almost. I mean, probably the time they're written, there probably are like little novellas, very kind of short, sharp, kind of Elmore Leonard. Whereas I found the other Dortmundr I'd read a little bit more flabby, a little bit more. It's the characters, it's their failings, it's stuff like that. But this is kind of a little bit of a kind of combination between the two. So, Jimmy the Kid, it is kind of the best of both worlds, and with just like consistent jokes and just kind of hapless moments right up until the very end. Just the final thing of like, oh, let's go do this. How could it hurt? And it's like, exactly how much it's gonna hurt, and it's just so hilarious. So yeah, wow, I really, really enjoyed this Westlake novel, and I will definitely, buoyed by this, I will definitely, when next time I want something kind of fun and just sad sacks, Dortmundr, just the name Dortmundr. It's a sad sack name. It's wonderful, and kelp and Murch. And the ma and Murch's mom, who's a cab driver, and May, who's like, kind of a good-hearted woman who supports poor old Dortmunder, who just can't catch a break. So they end up living off of her salary as a as working at a department store. It's just yeah, written by definitely a master of the field, of the crime novel field. I really enjoyed. Okay, more videos later.